Hello everyone, today what I want to show you how to do is remove your badging on your vehicle. Now depending on what model you have, I know with some of the Rangers, the fender emblems, they actually have holes in behind them, so they will have to be filled after, welded up, and then sanded and repainted. Now on my car here, this is a 2004 Volkswagen Golf, there isn't actually any holes in behind it. Simply what it is just double-faced tape that is stuck to the emblem and stuck to the paint itself. Now, if you're going to replace the emblem, like I'm going to do, with a turbo badge here, what I started to do was actually take a straight edge here. Now, you can use tape, but the problem is with tape after a while, it is pretty hard to have it straight because it will actually have a slight curve to it. So what you want to do, simply put it on like that. Using even a Sharpie marker, or what I have here is actually a drafting markers. Is put a line here, and then put a line further down over here. So when you're actually polishing around this area here, you won't rub those marks off. And now just for a reference mark here, right there, just so you have a rough idea, so it's basically in the same location as it was originally when of the stock emblem. Now, also before removing the badge, and what you want to do is make sure your vehicle is clean, because if you're using dental floss or fishing line to cut the emblem off, there is a chance of dirt getting in the string itself and actually putting scratches in your paint. So now what I have here is a heat gun, just a normal one. You can actually use a hairdryer for this too. Now what you want to do is actually place the heat on the emblem for just about probably 10 to 15 seconds, just to get it enough warm. You can usually feel it to the touch, and it just softens up the glue enough just to pull it off to make it easy. And simply take your dental floss or fishing line, just go in behind, move it back and forth. As you can see how easy that comes off there. And the tape is still stuck on, so I'll show you after how to do that. Now what you want to do is continue to remove the other two, heat it up for 20 seconds, remove the D, and then do the same with the I. Now after you've removed the chrome badging, you'll be left with this double-faced tape. And what you want to do here is basically the same idea, is just heat it up for about 15 seconds, and then you can actually roll it off with your finger. I'll show you how to do this. Now what this does is actually soften up the glue. Now you might have to alternate your fingers here, because it actually does get warm after a second. Now you continue to do that with the rest of the lettering on the car. Now after when you move the foam tape, as you can see here, now there is somewhat of a ghosting of the lettering around. That is actually the glue on the edges there. Now what I just do is just take simply a rag with some brake cleaner, which will wipe that off. Now I also want to make note, be very careful not to wipe off your lines here. I actually went around the side of the trunk here so I can actually still see where that was. Okay, now after you've done that, what you want to do is there will still be some slight ghosting from the lettering, because over the years any rain or any road debris will actually scratch up the paint, and considering the tape was over top of it, actually protected it over time. So what will happen is you actually have an outline of where the old emblem used to be. Now what you want to do is take some rubbing compound and a polisher and just clean that right out. Now again, as I noted before, you want to be very careful when wiping the area, because you can rub off these lines. Now I did rub off this top line here, but I was able to see the ghosting here, so I was actually able to make another reference point. Now what this is actually is just a normal machine buffer, but you can use just rubbing compound by hand. This actually does a lot quicker and I actually prefer the job over this than doing it by hand. Now, again, you want to be careful not to rub off those reference marks. Now what I've done, I've already applied the compound to the pad, and I've also sprayed it with a little bit of water just to re-lubricate the pad. After you've just gave the area a quick compound just to remove any ghosting, now you just want to just take a normal microfiber pad and or cloth and just wipe it off. And when you stand back, you can see actually the ghosting from the emblem has actually disappeared. Now after you're done mounting your emblem, you should have a finished product that looks like this. Now another point I just want to make note of is if you don't have an existing emblem on your car and you actually want to add a new one on, you can also use reference points too. Now I wouldn't recommend using the window itself as a reference point here because you can see it actually has a curve to it. So if you do take a dimension from down to here and here, there is going to be some difference and you end up having the emblem on the angle. What you can actually do here now in this situation or on other cars is you can actually find something that's symmetrical on each side of the car, such as the taillights. As you can see, there's a red spot, then it goes to a orange lens and back down to a red lens and a white lens. And the same with the other side. Now what you can do is actually run a string across from each point there and also reference it that way. Now you can also possibly take a dimension off that spring too. Now that will be a two-person job, so you're going to have find someone that can help you out with that. Now if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to post them. Thank you.